Hello guys, my name is Vincent Kier. Today I'm gonna read about firefighters. Firefighters, written by Angela Ralston. One day, Liz was checking the hose to make sure they were screwed tightly to the fire engine. It is always busy at a fire station, even when there is no fire. Dan was polishing the wheels on the fire engine. Anthony was upstairs in the kitchen looking for a snack. He is always hungry. Suddenly, a loud noise made him jump. Ring, ring, ring. It was the fire alarm. Anthony slid down the pole. Thud! He landed hard, but the thick rubber pad on the ground cushioned his feet. Ready for action. Trousers are kept rolled over boots to save time. This way, the firefighters can be dressed and in the fire engine in 30 seconds. Let's jump into her boots and pull up her fireproof trousers. She checked the computer. It showed a fire at 7 Oak Lane in the fire engine. Let's grab the walkie-talkie. Chief Miller, we're on our way. Right, said the fire chief. He had gone ahead in a special fast car. Meet you there. Let's start the engine. As the firefighters jumped in, she flipped on the sirens and lights and drove out of the fire station. The truck rushed towards the fire. All the cars and buses stopped and waited when they heard the siren. The fire chief called this. I'm at the scene of the fire. It's an old house that's been empty for years. But someone saw a young boy playing in the garden this morning. He might be inside the house. Tell Dan and Anthony to get their air tanks ready. Okay, Chief, said Liz. I can see the smoke from here. We'll be there in 2 minutes. Liz turned the corner into Oak Lane. Flame covered the top of the house. The fire was spreading quickly. There was no time to lose. Hose. Water comes out of a fire hose so fast it is strong enough to knock a person down. Just attach a hose from the engine to the nearest water hydrant. A fire engine can pump water from a street hydrant to feed its hose. Liz and another firefighter point a hose at the flames. Ready? Call it. Whoosh! They held on tightly as water shot out. Breathing equipment. Fire gives off deadly smoke. Firefighters wear air tanks and breathing masks inside a burning building. Anthony and Dan got ready. They got ready to search the house. They put on their air tank and face mask. Each tank holds 40 minutes of air. The boy name is Luke. The chief told them, "You haven't got much time." Right, said Anthony. He grabbed a hose. Let's put the wet stuff on the red stuff, said Dan. Dan and Anthony ran to the back of the house. The fire was not as bad there. Dan felt the back door. If it was hot, flame could leak out. It's cold, said Dan. They stepped inside. Thick black smoke was everywhere. Anthony shone his torch around. Luke, Luke, he called. No one answered. I can hear the fire upstairs, said Dan. The fire had damaged the staircase. It could fall down at any time. They climbed the steps very carefully. Outside, the stabilizers were set down on the ground. Stabilizers are like legs. They can keep the truck steady as the ladder is raised. The ladder went up like a telescope to the top of the house. A hose ran up the side. The firefighter on the ladder shot water down onto the fire. The flames crackled and hissed. They got smaller, then suddenly jumped even higher. Inside the house, the fire raged. It was hot enough to melt glass. Then sprayed water onto the flames. The fire had made the house weak. It could come down at any second. It could come down any second, said Anthony. We must find Luke. Boom! A beam crashed down near them, but the helmets protect their heads. Crash! Quick, said Dan, we're running out of time. Hard hats. Firefighters' helmets are made of hard plastic. A white gleam helped to keep spark off their necks. They came to another door, but it would not open. Dan swung his axe to the door. Once, twice, three times it jammed. Shouted Dan. The roar of the fire was so loud they could hardly hear. We'll have to use the electric saw. Firefighter axe. Fire axe have been used by firefighters since the earliest day of firefighting. A sharp cutter. The electric saw runs on batteries. It can cut through the roof of a car like a can opener. Anthony switched on the saw. Whirr! He cut a hole in the door big enough to climb through. Luke! Called Dan. Luke! But the room was empty. Suddenly the chief called, get out now. The roof is coming down. Dan and Anthony raced downstairs. They got out just as the roof fell in. We didn't find Luke, yelled Dan. He's okay, said the chief. We just found him up the road. Whew, said Dan. Good news. It took hours to put out all the flames. Anthony sprayed water onto the porch, still glowing red. He was tired and dirty and very hungry. Liz wound the hose back onto the fire engine. At last she could rest. She felt worn out. Back at the station, Anthony sat down to eat. At last, he said. Suddenly, a loud noise made him jump. Dinner will have to wait, smiled Dan. Ring, ring. Bye.